Melody Bouchard.
And I'm Sue Mansky.
All right. How did you come to work at Sherburne Avenue Coffee?
For me, that's an interesting story. My daughter Kate was a senior in the nursing department, and she worked for Melody in the coffee shop. And I was looking for a job, and she said, "Mom, why don't you go in the coffee shop and ask Melody?" And so I walked into the coffee shop, and I said, "Hey, Mel, do you think you could use anybody to work at the coffee shop?" And she immediately said, "Yes, when can you start?" So 11 years later, here we still are together.
And we knew each other,
Yes.
too. So we had
Yes.
both gone to Crown here years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was a freshman when Sue was a senior, so we didn't really get to know each other, but we knew.
But we knew of each other. Yeah.
And Sue's husband, too.
Yeah.
My husband's
And Don.
Sue's.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, this is my 15th year here at the school, and almost 15 years ago, my husband got a call from Crown asking him to come, and so we both quit our jobs and moved out here from Montana. Apparently, they had hired somebody and had trained in that person, and she quit the very first day. So here I am. He said, "Is this something think you'd like to do?" And I had never done anything like that before, so I kind of had to learn on the fly because my boss didn't really know anything about coffee. He really didn't want to do anything in the coffee shop. So I learned a lot of things from the kids just on the fly, and then started doing some research.
Well, the question was our coffee shop experiences before working here. And actually, for me, I just enjoyed drinking coffee. We both enjoy coffee very much. And while my husband and I and family were living in Brazil as missionaries with the Christian Missionary Alliance, we fell in love with espresso coffee, strong coffee. And when we came back to the States, one of the first things was to try to find good coffee. And so I learned then, once I started working here at the coffee shop, I was trained in espressos and making caramel macchiatos and Americanos and cappuccinos, and it didn't take very long. And liking and loving coffee really does help to learn how to do it. So I think from loving coffee and enjoying all different coffees to working here, it was a swift, fast training time and really good. And then with Melody, coffee.
Loving coffee sounded like something that would be really fun to do. I had never really entertained the thought of doing that before, but yeah.
We love the students, love interacting with them. It's the love for the students that's the best part.
And they're great. I talked to a lot of people that work different coffee shops too, and it's different if your clientele are all older adults that have this already idea of what their drink is supposed to be, and with kids it's just so nice because even if we make their drink wrong, they go, "Oh, well, I like that too. I'm great with that." And they're awesome. They're awesome.
And we have the privilege of making their happy drinks.
Yep.
If they've had a bad day or had a test that didn't go quite the way they thought would go, they come in, they get a drink, or they ask us what would work and to keep me awake longer, but we get to make them a happy drink, and it's really a privilege. Mm-hmm.
And we tell them.
Yeah, we agree. Most of this is the same for us because we've worked together for so long. But for years, Melody and I have mentored students off and on, and seeing them grow and meeting their needs spiritually and emotionally, and it's even helped us personally to grow, to see the pressures that so many of these students are going through, whether it's from home, whether it's from work or just their studies. It's a different world than when we lived in this world, and so we've grown from that to learn from them, and they can learn hopefully some from us. But that's been just a big thing, mentoring, and then even sometimes just that little bit of time of seeing returning students and being able to hug them and just see how they've come along and grown, and it's such a privilege to go through that. So I think we both have just seen that growth within ourselves over the years. And then as far as with the coffee shop and how things have changed over the years,
Yeah, and things have changed a little bit in the coffee businesses too, and I try to go and visit the vendors, talk to them,
Mhm.
see what's new out there. Gone to a few coffee seminars. It's made a difference on which food service is in too, because when it was Aramark, they had their own coffee shop, so it was called Java City, and all of our products came through them. And then Aviance came in, and it was kind of, whatever you want to do, which was really nice, because then I got to do a lot of research and play around a little bit with
Creativity.
drinks. And yeah, so that was really nice. And Sodexo, I think they have their own too, but since this one was already set, they've been pretty good. They've been getting a little bit more lax all the time on
Mhm.
what products. I'm limited with products, but it's been fun to see the difference in the way coffee has evolved over the time. And kids, when we went to school, it's like we got addicted to coffee when we went to college, but
Yep.
kids are already have been in the coffee scene for a
Before
while
they
before
come.
they come. So there's a certain expectation there that you've got to, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and even your coffee recipes have developed. We never had cold brew or cold press before. Well, now that's become such a popular one. So you've come up with different recipes with the creamy cold press,
Mhm.
and you have to be flexible and change. And you've done really well with that and keeping things up with what's out there.
There are just some limitations of some things you just can't do, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see the kids when they come in as freshmen, how they change. But they're just like different kids by the time they're seniors, so it's
mhm.
really fun to see that too. And to see the kids of the ones that we went to school with years ago too, and see their kids come through here too.
And still drinking
fun.
coffee. We've done
Still
our
drinking coffee. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of it.
Lots of it. We've done our job.
Yeah.